Та вибачаюсь, стрім відпав, інтернет там дьоргнуло. Зараз продовжимо через хвилину. Так, все, я повернувся. Так, вони шукали
Searching for
мене.
me?
Yes, Lord Divish sent them, led by Captain Robard. So tell me, why is a lord of such high standing interested in a blacksmith?
Sir Divish promised Sir Radzig he'd look after me. But as for why they should care, I've no idea.
Я втомлений.
Oh, I'm exhausted.
I'm not surprised. I'll bring you water and something to eat. In the meantime, rest. You're still very weak. Good morning to you. How's the invalid today?
Ugh, haven't felt as good as this since they...
Yeah, if you'd lain around much longer, he really would have dumped you on the town square. You can stay until you find somewhere else to live, but my uncle will want payment for taking you in and caring for you. Good morning to you.
And this is your uncle's house?
We're in Ratay Mill. My uncle's miller Peshek. He took me in, and I talked him into taking care of you too.
Я вже
I've been lying
належався.
here long enough.
Uncle will be pleased he's one mouth less to feed. But are you truly well enough?
Well enough to do what has to be done. Where can I find Sir
But someone like you can't just walk up bold as you please and demand an audience.
I know, Sir Radzik, and I didn't bring him his sword as I was supposed to. I must see him.
If you insist. But you need to speak to my uncle first. You've been in your sickbed for over a fortnight while he paid the apothecary to tend to you, and for medicine. That's a good deal of a coin you owe him.
I've been lying here 2 weeks. My God.
Better a fortnight in bed than an eternity in the grave. If it weren't for my uncle, you wouldn't be here at all.
I owe you both my life, and I'll repay my debt. You have my word.
All right. But before you go to town, you should eat something. You're still weak. There's food on the table for you.
A word with you, young fellow.
Це що ми будемо думати, як викачувати? Ну окей. Тут всі мої речі, да? Заховаємо кубасу. Крендель. Ситість. 74.
A word.
My name's Henry. Thank you for taking care of me here.
My name's Peshek, and I'm the miller here. You've already met my niece, Teresa.
Тут гра
She
починається.
took care of you for 2 whole weeks while you were in limbo. And talking of you being at death's
В
door,
принципі,
while you were
можна
lying
так
here,
сказати.
you worked up quite a bill with the bloodletter, who came now and again to keep you alive with his potions.
Зірвався
That
інтернет,
quack
коротше,
doesn't come
прийшлось
cheap. I paid him
робити
what I
зразу
could,
різко
but
другу
I
частину,
still,
так би
that
просто
is,
продовжив стрім
you
далі.
still owe him.
I
Ну,
see.
якось так.
Well, it's better to be in debt than to lie dead in a ditch. What do I owe? I'm not afraid of hard work.
You won't pay for that shoveling manure. I might have a better job for you. And it's not something any fool can do. If you prove to me you're a clever lad, I might trust you with something you could really make money from. What do you say?
Що вам
Well,
від
what would you
мене
need
буде
from me?
треба?
A trifle. Just to take something from someone and bring it to someone else. and not get caught while you're doing it.
That sounds straightforward enough. Except for not get caught. Why would anyone want to catch me?
Oh, don't worry. It's just a job like any other. Only this one requires, let's say, the right moral disposition. Do corpses bother you?
No honourable man should touch them. That's the executioner's job.
Did you expect I'd give you a hoe and send you out to the fields? You can dig all right, but somewhere else. I want to know whether you're going to hide behind some stupid fucking scruples, or if you might be useful for more unconventional work.
I was prepared for just about anything, but that's a bit much. But go on. Tell me more.
Listen, it's about this ring my mate Wojciech, the Kohelnitz miller, had his eye on. Trouble is, they buried the ring by the gibbet along with the villain they hung while he was wearing it.
Jesus Christ. You want me to dig up a corpse, take a ring from it, and give it to your friend in Kohelnitz? Is nothing sacred to you?
Money first, morals later. That fellow is dead. He won't miss it. Whatever bleeding heart came up with the idea that it's disrespectful to disturb a corpse never read the Bible. It's still a human body, only it's missing a soul. Why be disgusted by something created by God?
I think I've already heard more than I need to know. You've got the tongue of the devil himself. If you tried hard enough, I bet you could justify sodomy with a goat.
Watch your mouth, boy. There's a shovel here around the mill somewhere. If there's any problem, come and see me. And here's something on the side to make you dig better.
Thanks. I'll need it. I can't believe I've come to this. Digging up corpses.
Oh, and watch out for the executioner and his hounds. They're pretty savage. And I don't just mean the dogs. You can just throw them some meat. The dogs, that is. But the executioner? Well, don't vex him. Farewell.
Так, читанням ще треба буде зайнятись. Що там у нас за місія пробудження? Піти до замка Піркштайн. Я хочу цей квест зробити. О! Тереза.
Have you eaten?
Yes, it was very good. Did you bake it yourself?
I did. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Greetings, Henry.
What's that dog you have here? He looks familiar.
Don't you remember him? It's Mart, the butcher's dog from Skalitz.
Ah, of course. When I went back to bury my parents, he was guarding his master's dead body. A faithful dog. How come he's here?
When we carted you here, we took Mutt along too. He's been hanging around the mill ever since.
What does the miller have to say about it?
He can't stand him.
How's that?
Every time he sees him, he starts shouting that he's a useless mouth to feed and that'll skin him.
Jesus.
And it didn't even soften his heart when Mutt brought a hare from the woods. He was happy to eat it, but it didn't change his mind.
I could have a word with him.
That would be a waste of time.
Does he obey you?
Me? Not much. He's got a mind of his own, and I'm just not strict enough.
Ah, spoilt then.
No, he just hasn't learned many commands. But he's well able to beg for a piece of meat.
How long has he been with you?
More or less since we came here. He runs off now and again, but he always comes back. Sometimes I don't see him all day. I think he likes to go wandering.
How's he doing?
A lot better now. I slipped him something good now and again when Uncle wasn't looking.
He won't starve to death then. So he's doing quite well then.
Yeah. I'd keep him, but he reminds me too much of Tinker, you know? I don't want to think about Skalitz. So I thought maybe you might take him with you?
Me?
I'm sure the two of you would get on great. He's a handsome fella and lovable. I'd be very happy if you had him.
But we never had a dog at the smithy. We never needed one.
Come on. He's got no one.
All right. I'll take him. He can keep me company on my travels.
Thanks, Henry. Go and get him then. He's sniffing around somewhere here.
God be with you. May the Lord watch you. Try unlocking this trunk. Hold the lockpick in the right hand and use it to feel out the tumbler. In the left hand, you hold it. Got it? Good. Now turn the whole lock with the blade, but don't stop holding the tumbler with the pick. Otherwise, you're a dab hand, pal. Make something out of you yet. But remember, this trunk's only for practice. The real good luck with the real thing.
Що він мені підкинув від мечок? О, красота. А де пес?
Hey, Mutt. Remember me? From Skalitz, remember? You want to go with me? Come on then. We'll get on like a house on fire. Follow me.
Песик.
Look what I've... You'll love this. Good fella. That's my boy. Here. Heel.
Я б сходив до купальні.
God be with you.
I'd like to order something here.
So, what are you interested?
Залікувати рани, покупатися і випратись.
I'll certainly need a physician to treat my wounds. Then a hot bath and laundering my clothes.
But of course, money first, though.
Нема грошей.
As you wish.
Тоді випрати одяг тільки. Покупатися,
Proper
випрати
bath.
одяг.
But of course,
10. Давай.
Fine. Here it is.
I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied. Good luck then.
О. Тепер виглядаю як людина нормально, так. Що, йдемо туди до того чувака. Крадем кільце.
Hey!
Так, я поняв. Я йому не дуже поки що подобаюся. Кільце спокійника, ага.
Christ, whoa. Nothing on the left hand. The right? Oh, shit, there's nothing there either. Where the fuck is that ring? Oh, that stench makes me want to puke. Peshek will pay for this.
Собака вилізє. Все добре?
Heel.
Походу мінус собака, да? О, виліз.
Heel.
Все добре, виліз. Живучість прокачалась. Продовжуємо. Вже ці довгі загрузки задовбали. Пешек, кільця не було. Надьоргав ти мене.
There was a corpse in the grave, but no ring. What the fuck is going on?
Easy, Hal. Hold your horses. If the ring wasn't on the corpse, the executioner must have taken it before he buried the body.
I can see where this is going. You want me to get the ring from the executioner?
Clever lad. Only I wouldn't recommend talking to him about it. He's a bit touchy on the subject of robbing the dead. It'd be better to pinch it from his house.
All right, I'll
It should be in a trunk somewhere in the house. And look,
get past the lock. You mean Jemmy?
no you don't. I mean the delicate, gentle art of opening it quietly.
I have some experience.
All right. I'm glad to hear you're not as clumsy as you look. Here's a lockpick for the job.
Can you tell me something about the other millers?
There's a couple of other fellows around here in my trade. Wojciech in Kohelnitz and Simon in Sassa.
What about this Simon in Sasau?
An odd one he is, a loner who don't talk much. But he's as dogged as a hunting hound once he gets his teeth into anything. He won't let go until he sees it through, even if he has to walk over dead bodies.
Tell me about Wojciech.
He's young and hot-blooded with a short temper. But he's a fine fellow when you get to know him. His heart's in the right place, and he's always willing to lend a helping hand. Unfortunately, he got himself into a feud with that usurer, the merchant Wolfram Pruder. A slimy bastard he is. And now they're sworn enemies.
Tell me something about yourself.
There's nothing much to tell. I was born at the mill, I live here, and I'll surely die here. But before I do, I've plenty of work to do, and I hope I live to see peace in this land again.
Can you tell me?
What about the Skalitz folk?
God sent them to punish us for our sins. They don't work, they just idle around begging. And you want to keep a close eye on your belongings when they're around. I'll be glad to see the back of them.
What do you think about everything that's happened?
I don't concern myself with the doings of my betters. But this mess isn't good for business. Them two brothers should sort things out between themselves without dragging us into it. I don't give a damn who's king, but that usurper from Hungary has gone too far.
Do you know anything about those Cumans?
The heathen scum that Sigismund brought here. Why do you even ask? You've seen with your own two eyes what they're capable of.
That's all.
Good luck to you.
Have you got a moment?
All right.
How did you get me away from Skalitz?
It wasn't easy. So Robard and his men helped load you on a wagon and we harnessed an old nag the bandits had left behind. The soldiers escorted us all the way here, God bless them.
What about the bandits?
So Robard and his men routed them. They killed the few, but the giant who attacked you fled, and Zibishek with him. It won't be safe in Skalitz for a while yet.
Why would Zbyszek do that? I never thought much of him, but banditry?
He was always a nasty piece of work. Doesn't surprise me he joined them. If you knew what he did to me.
Tell me.
When those cumins, they call them, when the cumins came, Zibishek pushed me out in front of them and fled. He sacrificed me to save his own hide.
That bastard. Where's the sword I had?
You had a sword? It's gone now. Those scum took everything, including your horse.
I don't give a damn about the horse. I stole it anyway. But my father
Yes,
forged that
correct.
sword for Sir Radzik. I promised father I'd take it to him. I have to get it back.
Well, you can't. Just be thankful you're still alive.
What happened to the other survivors from Skalitz?
They sought refuge in Ratay, and some of the Ratay folk are none too happy about it.
And Matthew, Fritz and Matthias? Johanka? Did they make it?
They're alive. I heard Matthias is at the stud farm in Merhoyed. Johanka is in Sasau, and Fritz and Matthew, well, you know them. They're up to no good somewhere. The only trouble they'll be in is of their own making.
What about Sir Radzik?
Sir Hanush, he's the Lord of Ratay. He gave his lower castle to Sir Radzik, a place called Perkstein. Sir Hanush lives at the upper castle. The Skalitz folk have made camp in front of it.
What about Sir Radzik?
Ой, не то.
How did you get away from those cumins?
You're wrong. If it hadn't been for you... When they came to the mill, they slaughtered everyone. And kept me for last. After you distracted them, I fled to the mines to find my brother, but he... My brother was dead, but I owe my life and more to you.
And I owe mine to you. The scales are balanced. I won't trouble you anymore. Let's leave it be.
I'd like to know...
So, how'd you like it in Rattay?
It's a big town with good strong walls, so I suppose we're safe here. And they took us in our hour of need, but for how much longer? They'll grow tired of us soon enough.
How are the Skalitz folk getting on?
They're alive, that's the main thing. They have shelter, but they're just scraping by. Ratay citizens aren't happy the town is full of beggars who don't look like leaving anytime soon.
Do you know anything about those cumin rapists? About... you know.
They came to Hungary from God knows where, and now they... Well, folk tell awful stories about them. I hope I never see them again.
That's all. What are you up to? How would you like to, I don't know, come for a walk?
A walk? I'd like that very much. But I can't right now, Hal. Give me some time to settle in, will you?
If that's what you want.
It's not you, Hal. It's just this isn't a good time.
Пішли в замок, коротше, по сюжету.
To me?
are you and where are you going?
I'm Henry, son of the Skalitz blacksmith. I'm going to see my liege, Sir Radzig Kabila of Dvoyets.
Of course you are, lad, and I'm the Pope. What do you want from his lordship, and what makes you think he'll see you?
I may not look the part, but I know about honour and duty. And mine is to tell Sir Radzig what happened to the sword he commissioned.
All right then, go ahead. It'll be your skin if Sir Radzig isn't pleased.
Could that be the smith's son, Hal?
On my soul, it is him. What are you doing here, lad? We thought you were done for.
Bandits attacked me in Skalitz.
And why, for God's sake, did you go back there? Who else but cutthroats and bandits did you expect to find?
I needed to bury my parents.
Oh, I see. Your father fought like a lion. I'm sorry.
He saved my life.
And not just yours. He was a good man, and you did right to bury him.
I didn't even manage that. I failed to save him or put him to rest.
And just what could you have done at Skalitz? If you tried to fight, the both of you will be dead. He gave his life for yours, Hal. So you'd better make good use of it.
You're right. And just what are you doing here?
I must speak with Sir Radzig. Is he here?
He's in the palace with Sir Hanush of Ratai. They're feasting in the Knight's Hall. What do you want with him?
My father made him a sword. He asked me to deliver it to Sir Radzig.
I don't see any sword.
No. Bandits attacked me and stole it. I need to tell his lordship what happened. And then I'm going to find the sword.
Of course you are, Hal. Good luck.
Thanks.
Good day to you.
And what about our Sir Radzig?
Sir Hanush gave him the whole of Perkstein for his use. He seems to be bearing up well considering all he's lost.
How do you like Ratai?
It's well fortified and well situated. And they won't get us as easy here as they did in Skalitz. And there's everything a man could want. Armourer, swordsmith, apothecary, taverns. It could have turned out a lot worse.
How are the Skalitz refugees faring?
Oh, me and the rest of Sir Radzig's men are all right. We live at the castle and we've got everything we need. But the others are just making it day to day. And they've lost everything. It's charity and arms for them, and the locals ain't as generous as they was. God knows how much longer we'll be stuck here. It ain't good.
How do you like the new castle?
It's a fine place, about the same size as Skalitz Castle. Sir Hanush don't mind lending it to Sir Radzig, because he's got an even bigger one at the other end of town. Have you ever seen a town with two castles before?
Have you heard anything about those savages who attacked us?
I heard they're called Cumans. Sigismund brought them here from Hungary. By all accounts, we got off lightly. They say, in other places, they impaled people on spikes, skinned them alive, and even worse. Fucking heathen swine.
Thanks.
Take care now.
Ow! Ah.
Дай пройду. Це певно наверху, вище трошки. Ось тут. Так, це тут.
Your Graces, I have to tell you in all seriousness that this land of ours is in the shit. Deep fucking shit. Don't you agree?
I might not have put it as eloquently as you, Hanush, but I've been driven out of my own castle, so I'm hardly going to disagree.
Indeed. But Pirkstein is yours for as long as you need it. There's room enough for your men and you here at Rattay, and I'm sure my ward won't have any objection to me lending you his castle.
I'd be honored. Pirkstein is at your disposal as long as you wish, Your Grace.
Just as well you have another castle at the other end of town, eh? At any rate, I'm beholden to you, Sir Hans, and to you, Sir Hanush.
I don't like to speak ill of your people, Sir Radzig, but, well, there's no love lost between the townsfolk and the refugees. There's been talk of criminality.
No, they'll have to get used to it until the situation's resolved.
But when will it be resolved? And what on God's earth is this war even about? I won't lie, sir. I don't understand it.
You aren't alone, Father. I believe Sigismund's original intention was to persuade Wenceslas to accept the imperial crown and to leave the rule of Bohemia to him.
Who could blame him? I know Wenceslas is a friend of yours, Radzig, but even you have to admit he brought it upon himself.
I can't deny the king neglected affairs of state for other pursuits. There is a need for order in the land, but I don't think the lords who sided with Sigismund realized just what Hungarian order looks like.
Hungarian order.
What concerns me, sir, is how a good Christian could resort to such brutality.
To give him his due, I don't think he expected the lords of this country to stand behind the king. But thanks to him, we're tearing ourselves apart, and now he has to get things under control.
But why in God's name does he have to use those barbarians?
Money is the root of all evil, young sir. Wars are costly, and this one has dragged on for a year. Sigismund ran out of coin for knights, so he recruited those whore sons that settled in Hungary. The less he pays, the more they make up for it with plunder.
That's why he attacked us. He was after our silver.
What are you doing? You've no business here. Clear off.
Wait, it's Henry. Henry, who disappeared after I clearly ordered him to remain at Taumberg.
I'm sorry, sir, but I had to bury my parents.
Had to? Do you think you were the only man who lost someone there? But the others listened to their lord.
And it wasn't just your own life you nearly threw away. So Robard and his men risked theirs to save you.
I'm sorry, but I had to.
Oh, there you go. When you have to, Radzig.
Your father was a remarkable man, and your mother, she was remarkable too. They deserved a Christian burial. Did you manage that at least?
No. I was attacked by thieves. I wouldn't be here now if it wasn't for that girl.
Girl?
The miller's daughter, Teresa.
The miller's daughter saved you from the footpads? Well, there's a tale to tell your children.
I owe her my life. She distracted them and then brought me to Rattay. But without Sir Robard, we'd both be dead.
Oh, that's what I call a good woman. Hang on to that one, lad.
Still, it's a great shame your parents are buried in unconsecrated ground. That means purgatory for them.
Be quiet, Friar. I didn't invite you here to eat me out of house and home and deliver a sermon while you were doing it.
If you're so concerned, Father, maybe you should save the innocent souls of these fine Christians yourself. Go to Skalitz and consecrate their graves. I assure you, if you're killed by bandits, your soul will soar straight to heaven, as long as someone buries you in consecrated ground first.
If there's anything left to bury, that plump carcass of yours would be quite a feast for the wolves and the crows. One skeleton looks much like another, so how would we know which were your ordained bones or those of Sigismund's Tartars?
Be that as it may. Why have you come here?
I must get your sword back.
Sword? My sword hangs here at my side.
No, the sword my father forged for you. One of those thieves stole it from me.
They almost killed him and he already wants to go back.
Takes after his father, I suppose. Lad, I've lost a castle, a village, silver mines, and a good half of my subjects. Why would I miss one sword?
Because it's the last one my father forged, and I promised him I'd deliver it to you.
I understand. I'd feel the same way. But prudence is the better part of valor, and a dead man keeps no promises.
Aye. The woman had to save his fat from the fire, and now he wants revenge. What kind of fool are you, boy?
He's no fool. Henry, you have courage, but you need training, arms, a horse. Or do you mean to beat this thief at dice?
No, sir. Please, take me into your service and give me the chance to learn these things.
The gall of him. Fled from the enemy, disobeyed your orders, duped Sir Divish, lost your sword, put Sir Robard in danger with his actions, and now he wants a promotion.
Sir Capon's right.
What you say is certainly true, except for fleeing the enemy. You would have run as well, believe me. Henry's earned some punishment, but how do you punish someone who's already lost everything, Courage and blind obedience are good qualities for a soldier, but a wise man also appreciates loyalty, perseverance, and determination. Besides, that was a fine sword that his father made. If he thinks he can get it back, I won't turn it down.
My lord, he's a peasant. You can't make a squire of a peasant.
Why not? Someone made a priest of a pig.
He isn't a peasant, father, he's a blacksmith, and recent events have left me in need of his skills. So, you'd like to enter my service?
Sir, Yes, I would. You won't regret it.
I probably will. I'm doing this for your father, lad. Don't disappoint me.
Oh, fortune has finally smiled on you today, lad. Make the most of it.
Now that I think about it, Sir Hanush, the boy needs training and experience, and you need spear carriers.
That's true. The bailiff is always complaining about your people making trouble in the camp. Maybe one of their own among the guard might help.
It might. In any event, it will prove valuable experience.
But let's be clear. You're the one paying him. Captain Bernard, see to his training, and then send him to the bailiff.
Yes, sir.
And don't spare him.
You can rely on it, sir.
Don't forget, Henry. Don't disappoint me.
I won't, my lord.
Ось так, ось так.
Sigismund and his murderers took everything I had.
Come here, young fella.
А! Мені треба десь поспати. Ну окей.
I could die of shame to be reduced to begging.
What do you want here?
О, Куниш, здорово.
Fresh bread! Come and get it! Man cannot live by bread alone. But he can't live without it either.
А що? А, вже вечір, то він хоче спати. Десь треба кімнату винайняти. А що він взагалі по характеристиці? 87. З'їж булочку. Ой, вже переїв.
I'm getting desperate now.
Why's that, for the love of God?
You know what my old man is like. Nothing ever good enough for him.
Шинок, я колись робив отак. Може не виженуть. Лол. Що писало гру збережено, чи що? Так, це дуже добре. Ой. В принципі, ну. Поспали в шинку. В крису. Так. В принципі, на цьому серію завершую. Всім дякую за підписку, за лайки, за перегляд. Підписуйтесь на канал. Буду радий новим підписникам. До наступної серії. І ще вмиємося.